Namaste. A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. The oxytocin lesson hidden in Eckhart Tolle's teaching. Eckhart Tolle was born in Germany and lived much of his life in anxiety, depression, and a profound inner heaviness. At age 29, he experienced a sudden psychological collapse followed by a spiritual awakening. An internal shift where the constant mental noise dissolved and a deep presence emerged. His teachings offer a solution to unnecessary human suffering. The egoic mind creates pain while awareness dissolves it. A new earth reframed consciousness, compassion, and inner peace for millions around the world. I relate to Eckhart Tolle in many different ways. One is the spiritual awakening. There was a music video that I did where I was rapping and singing, and I was doing these movements that I had never done before. I had, with my hands, the way I was rapping, the way I was moving in the music video. I had my brother's ashes in my pocket, and I had one of my friend's shirts on that had died from a drug overdose. And I felt that they were right there with me. And there was a spiritual awakening as I was editing the music video. And at this time, I was sober, maybe a couple of years? My mom was dying. I was anxious, depressed, in a drug monitoring program at the time. I thought I was a stupid doctor who was just addicted to drugs, alcohol, gambling. I thought I was just the guy who was just discarded by everybody, rejected by everybody. And then that spiritual awakening happened. And that's the first day that I really solidly believed in myself. I was like, there is this person here in this music video that's meant for something greater. I always felt that way when I was in juvenile detention and I got my scholarships into medical school. I was very grateful for the opportunity. 2 people that I know died when I was a teenager. I could have been in prison for the rest of my life, but I turn around 2 years later and get 7 scholarships into medical school. Now, Eckhart Tolle talks about this pain that you have, and I talk about accepting it through mind hygiene. And throughout this process of me being in juvenile detention, me hating myself, me having low self-esteem, low confidence, talking crap about myself, led me to the spiritual awakening. I'm 46 now. It must have been when I was 40, because I've been sober for 7.5 years. I'm sober since July 31st of 2018. My mom died February 2nd of 2021 at 3:36 p.m. So minus a few months on that is when I first started believing in myself solidly. And it took this whole process of self-hate to self-love, me writing things down, and then being blessed with audiobooks. I tell you what, in 2025 was the first time I started listening to audiobooks, and I felt that God actually blessed me with audiobooks to listen to. Before then, I just felt the self-limiting belief that I couldn't listen to audiobooks until I quit sugar. Let me give you some points from the book Eckhart Tolle and how it affected my life and how you can develop an oxytocin bond with yourself even more. Number 1, the pain body. Eckhart Tolle says emotional reactions are old wounds stored in the body. As an example, I went to juvenile detention. I hated myself. I thought I was stupid. I didn't accept it. When you calm the pain body, meaning embracing it, just that's all you need to do, even for 1 second, the oxytocin rises in your body. When you calm your pain body, oxytocin rises, which is the bonding hormone. A lot of the time people talk about oxytocin bonding with other people. But look, I've been in monastic solitude for over 10 years. I've been single for about 8 years total in my life. I've been emotionally dependent on myself. I did not have a choice. I was in the middle of the ocean and had to figure it out. That's where the oxytocin bond with myself develops. This pain body that Eckhart Tolle talks about, accept it, embrace it, keep on writing about it, and then one day, the oxytocin bond with yourself will increase, and that's self-love. Of course, I have my oxytocin bonds with my Havanese Yorkie dog, Suarna, and my Persian cat, Ajay. Number 2, presence. The power of now. Ego collapses when you return awareness to the moment. Okay, This happened when you were younger. You've taken time to understand it. Now become present. I like what Gabrielle Bernstein says about mindfulness. 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can feel or hear, 3 things that you can feel or hear, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. And let's get present. Here is black and a tan face, a black nose, orange cat. You can see the hair coming up. That's about 5 things. Oh, and the purple here, the purple in the background. I can feel the softness of Suwarna's fur. I can feel the softness of Ajay's fur. I can feel the pillow, the coarse nature of it. I can feel my knee. There's 4 things. I can hear my cat purring. I can hear the echo in my apartment. I can hear my cat purring. I can hear my dog moving around. I can smell my cologne. For those of you that know me and have seen my videos, I've actually talked about wearing cologne at home, getting dressed. I mean, I'm at home right now. I got nowhere to go. The videos are cool. I will get ready for them. But even if I'm home alone and I need to get something done, I'm going to get ready and wear cologne. There's the smell. And the taste was I just had some coffee. Presence increases oxytocin because attention softens your emotions and your self-to-self bonding increases. There was a speaker who had asked me to talk about some things that Matthew Hussey talks about. He talks about maybe being in relationships and talking to other people. That's not my expertise. I am the monastic solitude expert. I'm the one who lives alone, who takes care of himself, who doesn't view being alone as loneliness, but more as monastic solitude to fulfill a mission, vision, purpose. And that's where the presence and the power of now can help you. Number 3, ego identity versus true self. The ego survives by holding on to stories. I went to jail, I was stupid. I'm an addict, that's all I'm good for. But instead, I can say, look, that event led me to being here, and I worked as a prison doctor. Now the oxytocin bond with myself increases. Imagine you were in juvenile detention one day, white walls, orange jumpsuit waiting for you. I am in the medical director's office getting instructions on patients to see as a prison doctor 20 some odd years later. Unbelievable. If I hadn't have inspired and accepted that, I would have never been able to speak at the same juvenile detention center that I was locked up at as an inspirational speaker and go and speak about my addiction, my drug monitoring, being sober for 7 years. I mean, you're past a lot of things, right? I'm past a lot of things. So I'm able to speak about this a lot easier. But, you know, I'm sure Eckhart Tolle will say the same thing. When he was in that painful state, that anxiety, depression, whatever he was experiencing, I mean, he could have been recording videos and inspiring others. I'm not sure. You got to sometimes get past things. Your oxytocin will stabilize when you stop identifying with fear, resentment, and self-judgment. I did this. I can't believe this. I'm so dumb. No, I did this. Let me inspire from it. Let me write it down. Everything may not work right now. I talk about the journey of self-hate to self-love. It took me 5 years. I would confidently say that if I was writing regularly and I was completely immersed in it, it may have taken me 2 or 3 years. I'm sure if I was somewhere like in the middle of Tibet, it might take me a year if I was to write down all day long. That's my personal story. It could take you less time or even more time. But the big caveat here is that you got to be alone. You can't have a bunch of people in your DMs, talking to people, communicating with people that are not serving you. And you should not be dating a bunch of people. Otherwise, you're just going to have your emotional entanglements and your ego identity and your true self will be tied to somebody else, including oxytocin. Number 4, inner acceptance. What you resist strengthens the ego. Acceptance activates the parasympathetic nervous system. And when you do activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the place where you're relaxed. See, I'm relaxed right now. My body language is open. My eyes are softened. I'm not blinking fast. I'm sitting like this. I'm opening my palms. Instead, I could have the sympathetic nervous system activated. Oh man, gosh. You know what? 30 tabs open. Oh man, I gotta go do this, I gotta go do that. Now that life sucks. You're gonna have a difficult time activating the relaxed part of your body and also increasing the oxytocin bond with yourself. Number 5, conscious doing. Don't act from emotion, but act from awareness. This is where the prefrontal cortex or the thinking brain comes in instead of the emotional brain or the amygdala. When you're thinking from the prefrontal cortex, let's say you have to have it written down. I just don't see any other way around it. Thinking, talking, listening to this video all sound nice, but you gotta write, and you don't need mind hygiene. You can use any writing technique, and I've said this many times. And when you do, your oxytocin will rise when you're grounded, not chaotic, not reactive, and sovereign. I always like to say all of these things sound great, but if you can live in emotional freedom, if you can be in neurospiritual sovereignty at least 70% of the day, I would say that you're operating at a peak level. Now, in this mind hygiene study that was done, you can find a link in the description below, including a mind hygiene guide. My thought is that if you can at least operate from the prefrontal cortex 60%, 70% of the day, you're in a great place. This 100% stuff, I like to say, if you're operating at 100%, you're on drugs, cocaine, ecstasy, and I would be very surprised if somebody can feel great 100% of the day. And I would argue that you should not. There are times that I will schedule in sleeping and feeling bad for like 3 hours. There are sometimes I might do that for a day or two. And I know that I'm going to get back to this, and I will write and I will do what I can even during those times. Feeling bad 100% of the day really sucks. With that said, if you found value in the video, please subscribe, like the video, share it with somebody that needs it. It'll help the algorithm and it'll put it in front of people that may need to hear the content. And also write a comment on how Eckhart Tolle has affected your life, if there's anything I can improve on or points that I may have missed. Namaste.